All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website or Web Development 1100 C# programming class, I've been doing a series of video presentations basically based off the Muroc C# 8th edition, which is the book that we're using for the course, and these are the PowerPoint slides. Now, I am going to go on to Chapter 10, but not yet, because I haven't done my work for Chapter 9. I just want to mention that when we get to Chapter 10, when you look here, this select a month and select a year, I'm going to go and change a bunch of the stuff that we're working on so it looks like that. All right. Now, I've been working here, and we've been using the Payroll program. And I'm hoping that this is the latest and greatest one. Yep, it looks like it is. So let's take whatever this one is and close it. And I can take our array program and close that as well. All right. Now, I started thinking about this. And when we look over here, really for the birth date and for the hire date for that matter, I only want to accept 01 for the month, 01 through 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and create a couple of global arrays. Now, maybe they don't have to be global, but I'm going to make them global anyway. All right, so let's go in here. And I'm going to they're going to be strings because what I read in there are going to be strings anyway. All right, so let's see. Technically, they're going to be string arrays. So const, I think I can make a string array. String, bracket, bracket, months equal, and this will be my string array. 01, 02, 03, 04. I don't think I need to make this a constant. I think that might screw things up. I don't know. So I'm going to come in here, declare and initialize program variables. So I got 4, 5. I'm going to put this over 2 lines. 6, you don't have to do that, of course, but 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, and again, you don't have to do what I'm about to do either, but okay, I'm putting all this stuff on their own line. There. And semicolon. Looks like it took that with no problem. Why am I doing this? Because when I split what I'm going to end up putting in there for the month, when I end up splitting that, I want to make sure it's one of these values. All right. So that's going to be months. I'm going to make days, but I'm going to have more than one of them. So I'm going to call string bracket bracket, and I'm going to call this days 31. Again, what I'm doing here may not make a boatload of sense. It may not be at all the best way to do it. It may be a very dumb way of doing it. I don't know. But I'm going to try it anyway. Okay, there's 1 to 12. We do all of this, and then when I get done, I'll tell you what I'm trying to do here. And you'll see if you think it's either wise or very foolish. Oops. $31. All right, so that'll be for all the days that have 31, or all the months that have 31 days in them. And I'm going to make another one. I'm going to call this days 30. And I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay. And I'm going to make another one. And I'm going to call this days 28. And I'm going to make one more. So in case it's a leap year. That I'm going to call days 29. All right. So I now have all my months covered and my days covered. All right. Now I'm going to do a couple more for a year. All right. And I'm going to add a little requirement later that I'm going to expect that you have to retire from this place when you turn 65. All right. So I'm going to call this string and these are going to be open. It's kind of a dumb name, but I'm going to use it anyway. And we said that the first year that this place was going to be open was 1999. Move all these over. Let's make this, we'll do it like that. That's fine. Again, we'll put this here. So 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 11, 12, 13, All right, now let's hopefully this is going to make at least a little bit of sense to you. All right. So I'm not done yet, but these are the months of the year, 01 through 12. Okay? These are going to be basically if you got 31 days in the month. So in other words, this will be used for January, March, May, July, August, October, and December. Why? Because those are all the months that have 31 days in them. This will be the ones with 30 days. Be April, June, September, November. All right. These will be days 28. So this will be February, non-leap year. And this one will be February leap year. All right. Now that's going to give me the ability to go in and do all that comparing. All right. Now, the current year is 2023. All right. So let's look in here. 2023. And if somebody was 65 years old, they would have been born in 1958. All right. So I'm going to call this, instead of open, I'm going to call this higher years. Okay. And we're going to say again, this opened in 1999. Okay. I'm more than anything else, I'm making a big mess here. I know that. All right. So if it was 1958, you'd have to retire this year. Okay. So I'm going to change this to, we're going to call this one birth years. All right. And this will be birth years 1958 through, and you've got to be at, oops, not 18, 1958, and you've got to be at least 21. So that would be 2002. All right. So really all of these that are in here, none of these I'm going to need. And I'm just going to make about something like that. So 58. $59, $60, $61, 1962, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. Did I turn this on? Yes, I did. Good deal. 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. I think I'll need about 3 more rows. 88, 89, oops, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 8, 99, 2000. Need 1 more row. No, I won't. 2001 and 2002. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be right. 58, 59, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 8, 9, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So these are all the years that somebody could be employed there. Now, this is going to have to change over time, but I'm not worried about that right now. All right. So let's go back to the program. And I had some errors in here in the input birth date. All right. We said if it was empty, fine. All right. So what we want to do is okay, we've got the birth date, so that's today's date. We won't need that in here. We won't need any of this stuff in here. This is just your birth date. So for now, at least, let's just grab all this stuff and comment it out. All right, that'll remove, I think, the errors that we had in the program. All right, we're getting not all paths return a value. That's okay. We'll get that in a bit. All right, so this was the argument exception if it was empty. All right, so if we do this, we know we've got something in here. All right, so I want to split it. I want to split it based on that dash. Now, it's possible that it won't have a dash. That isn't good. All right, check something out here. Good. All right, I've got another one. Good. And so this was it. How to check? No. Is there any way to check if there is any of the characters inside of a text box? I don't like the way that one's written, so let's keep looking. String dot contains. All right. So I'm going to take what's in here. This is already a string. All right. But I'm going to say string string birth date str. And I'll set it equal to nothing when we start. All right. So if I'm down to here, something was put in there. So I'm going to say birth date str is equal to txt birth date dot text dot to string. So it is a string now. All right. Now I should be able to say if birth date string dot contains, and I want to see if it doesn't contain something. If it does not contain that, well, if it doesn't contain that, it's missing an argument. All right. So I can also throw an argument exception there, which says you must enter a birth date. So let's see, no birth date input. How about this? You must enter a birth date in day, and month, day, year format. All right, no birth date input or invalid birth date input. Okay, we'll just do it like that. All right, so if that's the case, I again want to throw a new argument exception. Oh. All right, I'm going to try both these right now and see if they work. Now, I'm going to have to put eventually in here return true. Otherwise, I'm going to get an error message in here and this won't work. That should remove all my errors, and it does. All right, so if I run this and I put something in here and I put something in here, but I leave this blank, no birth date or invalid birth date format. Okay, but if I do put this in and I don't have a slash, so let's put in March 10th, 1999. I'm just making up 1000. That's fine. All right. Must be in that format. Good. All right. So if I get down here, I know it contains at least one slash. All right. Again, I don't want to go too nuts with this. I already am, but I'm going to do this. So I went out and checked. make sure I was going to be doing this in the do something like that. Okay, so BD for birth date equals text.split, and I'm going to split it then on the dash, just like that. And what I'm splitting then is birth date str.split. And I want to split it on a character. So right now I put this in double quotes and it should be in single quotes. All right. Now there's a contains there. There should actually be two of these in there. And I don't know if I can do a count. See, what I want to do is I want to say this. BD string month equals BD0. String day equals BD1. String year equals BD2. That's what I want to do. But it's possible when I put this in, I didn't do it correctly. In other words, maybe I put in 4 slashes or 2 or 5 slashes or just 1 slash. All right, so when I split it on that, I want to make sure that there's 3 of them. So this is the array, and I'm going to again come in here and say if bd.length is not equal to 3, I'm going to again throw a new argument exception. All right, so if I get down to here, there's 3 elements in the array. So I've got the month, I've got the day, and I've got the year. That's good. But let's check and see if we don't put, so I'm going to run this again, and I'm going to try to do this with just 1 slash. It's giving me an error. Try that again. What is the problem with that? It's ambiguous. Good gravy. There. I don't know why I would need that, but I put it in. All right, so I'm going to run this again. Put in something here, put in something there. Now I'm going to put in just a slash here. Okay. Now the problem is if I put in 2 slashes, okay, that's all I'm going to check for, is just that. All right, again, otherwise I'm just going to spend a year and a half on this program, and I don't want to do that. So like I said, I had this grandiose plan in mind, and I don't think this is going to look nearly as nice and be as elegant as I thought it would. So I want to see if month is inside of the array that is called months. So if like I said, this will work. I will get it to work, but it's not going to be nearly as elegant as I'd like it to be. All right, so we're coming back into here. Here's our birth date. All right, try this. If it's empty, or if it doesn't contain any slashes, or if when you do this, all right, we don't have the three things in there. Okay, so we now have this. If all right, that's basically saying, so let's put some comments in here. Check for no birth date inputted. All right. Convert text box to string. I probably could just use it like it is anyway, but I don't care. All right. Check for slash in birth date. Split birth date string on the slash character. If there are not three elements, throw exception. All right. If month inputted is not between 0, 1, and 12, throw an exception. All right. So if months is not in there, again, I'm going to throw an argument of range exception. Like that, which means I'll have to catch that in here. I thought this would be such a cool way to do this, but it probably not. This is going to end up being really long, and it's not what I meant to have happen. That's fine. So let's see if this one is going to be caught. So if I come in here and I put in 13 for the birth month, you must enter a birth date month between 1 and 12. That's good. So that's working. So if I keep going here, it did contain a number between 1 and 12. All right. I could do another if, but I'm going to do a case here. switch on BD0. So I'm doing the switch on the month. All right. If the month is either 1, 3, 5, 7 of them total. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, or 11. I'm sorry, 12. So that's a month with 30 days in it. All right. If that's the case, so if it's one of those, what did we call this? It's month, it's days 31. Four, 6, 8, and 10. Oh, that's right. 6, 7, 8. That's 9 and 11. That's days 30. All right. Now we've got to worry about the only one that's left here. All right, is case 2, February, which is the abnormal one. So we've covered January, now February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Good. All right. All right, if I parse that, I want to see if it's I know there's something in here that I can check for a leap year. C# leap year example. See what happens now when my internet goes down. And I'm already at 41 minutes, so I'm going to have to break this up into 2 lectures shortly. Leap year check. The thing dot is leap year. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say int ly for leap year equal, and I'm going to do this parsing here. We'll just call it year. Okay, we already have something called year. Yeah, just call it YR. If date time dot is leap year. All right, so if it's a year, then I've got to check for 29 days. So throw that. So this will be an else. And it'll be for 28 days. All right. So I think I've got all this. Now I'm going to try. I found this online, and I was going to use this, but I didn't like it. So I'm going to show you what I found online and what I am going to use. Get rid of a bunch of this stuff that I've got in here. So close that, close that, close that, and that, and that, and that. This is the one I want. This is kind of cool, right? All right, so if you look at this right now, this looks a little bit weird. It is a little bit weird. But imagine, okay, let's bring up the calculator. I just want you to see this. So today is 2023-0103, okay, which comes out to 20,230,103. Fine. Now, let's suppose for a minute, and this is not, again, not mine, but let's suppose that I was born in 1960. And I was born on January 1st. I'm not. Okay? So I'm going to subtract that, and I get this. I get 630,002. If I remove these 4 numbers, that would be my age. All right? And that's what they're showing here. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to have to make some modifications, but believe it or not, I actually think it might work. So I've got this, switch on this, throw a new argument, throw argument out of range. All right, otherwise I'm still good. Jump out of there, and I'm going to paste. Now again, there's going to be some problems here. All right, so int now equals int dot parse. BD0, BD1, BD2. And probably, let's see, what am I missing here? Let's just get rid of that for now. Okay, it doesn't like this. Okay. BD was that. So BD is that array. Don't want this. All right, we're going to try doing it like this. String BY for birth year, I don't think I use that yet, equals, it's going to be this. Okay. All right. So that's the birth year. Now equals int dot parse. So we've got this. That's the birth year. The date of birth equals int dot parse, and that'll be this, the birth year. And now equals okay. I'm not getting any errors. Let's see. All right, so that's age. And I do want to return true there. I'm going to make age global, which means I have to put it way up on the top here. All right. So why did I do all this stuff? Because what I'm hoping is that right now, after the birth date, All right. If I've done all that stuff, and if everything worked, that down here where I'm printing out everything, where I showed you that a long time ago, show this employee's info. Now I should be able to come in here and say age. Let's see if it works. All right, Jeff, Scott, and I gotta still change that. Let's do that right now because I'll forget to otherwise. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's all correct now, but I just had to flip those two just to be sure. Okay. Let's go back and do another tab order so those go away. Okay. Now I'm going to do this. Jeff, Scott, I am 67. All right. And I'm not going to put anything about my birth date in there, but other than I'll make up a date. 07 31 1956. All right. And I'm going to do this for the higher date. I'll say 12/12/2020. I don't know. Hours worked will be 30. Hourly rate will be 20. Let's see if it gives me my right age. All right. Birth date. It's got 1292. That isn't very good. Jeff Scott. Should have put my age in there. 1292 sure wouldn't have been right. Hire date is correct. Okay. So then I wanted to put that age in there, and I thought that's what I put in here. Let's double check. Age. Birth date, age. So where's the age over here? Age equals now minus the birth date divided by 10,000. And we only want the first 2 digits of that. Okay, so characters, that's fine. Substring method. How do I get the first 5 characters? Okay. And I'm going to say string, age string equal, and I want age dot toString dot substring. I think it's 01 like that. All right. And now what I want to print down in here is age string. I'm going to have to make that global as well, otherwise this won't work. Boy, this ended up becoming a mess. Sorry. So I'll try it again, see if it works. All right, first name, Jeff. Last name, Scott. Birth date, 10/10/1956. Today's date, 01/03/2024. Hours worked, 10. Hourly rate, 10. As my birth date is being 1. And it's not birth date. I want that to actually say age. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Let's see. It looks like it's just grabbing that one, probably. Darn it. Well, let's make a couple changes in here. I want that to say age, not birth date. So employee age would be fine. And that'll be that age string. Now, I want to just check that quickly, and we're going to go on after this. All right. That's the problem. This is backwards. This should be year, 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 year. That's what it is. Year, 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 month, month, day, day. So this should be here. Year, 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 year. Month, which would be 0. And day, which would be 1. Let's try it one more time and just see if I'm there. All right. There were errors. I somehow, let's see, lost my bracket there. There we go. File, save all. All right, I'm going to say I'm me. And I'm going to say that I was born 12/12/1956. All right, and I was hired 01/01/2020. I worked 10 hours this week, and I make $20 an hour. If this works, my age should be 67. Well, it gave me the 6. I somehow lost the 7. That might be a 2. I might just be not grabbing enough. Let's try that one more time. Jeff, Scott, 12/12/1956. 01/01/2000. Hours worked, 30. Hourly rate, 20. There's my age. All right. Now, this has become such a cluster, to be honest with you, that I'm just going to remove the hire date from here. Okay? Either that or I'm not going to check anything on it, because this was way, way too much stuff. And really, all I wanted to check in here, I wanted to make the same checks, but I had to make sure that when I made those checks, all right, that the year that I came out with was one of these. All right, so I'm just going to remove this. And now I've got hire years. In fact, that was it for the hires. So I'm going to change this to, I don't think I need any of this stuff now. All right, just the days, the months, well, the year. Had to be one of these. So I don't need higher years anymore because I'm going to remove that. All right, I'm going to come up into here and I'm going to, under calculate, I'm going to get rid of the hire date field, period. Got the birth date. So this was a valid birth date. And I'll go over this in class. I have no idea if we're going to do this one in class or not, but all right. So we've got all that. Now, I don't know. Did I check to see if the year property was in birth years? I don't know if I made that check in here or not. There's BD0. There was BD1. All right, so now I have to come in here and say if not birth years dot contains BD2, I am again going to throw a new argument. Oops, I'm going to again throw a new argument out of range exception. All right. That actually should be everything. Boy, that was a mess. All right, so now if I do a file, save all, I want to just show you this and show you that at least partially it works. Now for the birth date, whoops, if I put in, let's put in an invalid month, just so you see it. All right, so I'm going to put in 0, 22, 20, or let's say 2000. Okay. For the hire date, I'm going to make, again, I'm making all this up, 1/1/2023. All right. 22, 22. I should get an error here. And I do. Birth month must be between 1 and 12. All right. So let's try 13. I should get the same error. So 13 doesn't make any sense, but that's okay. Again, it's saying that my month is wrong. Good. That's what I want it to say. So let's try putting in a valid month, but an invalid day. 1/32/2000. All right. It's giving me, this was out of range. It says you must enter a birth date month between 0 and 12. I think I just put the wrong message in there. So let's look. I can't use this same message every time. Let's see. If this is the case, I've got to make up my own message here. All right. So here I'm going to set message equal to day must be between 101 and 30. Here, I'm going to say that it must be between 1 and 31. Let's get rid of these. Must be between 1 and 31. Must be between 1 and 30. Here must be between 1 and 29. And finally here, it must be between 1 and 28. Then when I come down here to actually throw the exception, all right, error, okay, programmer message, okay, what I want to put in here is not this. I want to put in plus message. And I just want to say invalid input. All right. That was my argument out of range. This was my argument exception. Let's try it again. So I'm going to say again 13, 12, 2000, 2022. That's fine. Hire date 10, 10, 2000. And again in here 33. Those don't matter. I want to see what message I get from here. Programmer message. And I didn't say the message. Jeff. Plus message. Right there. Message was set up on the top here. There. It's a month message. Contains. Oh, I didn't put the message here. Month must be between 1 and 12. Month must be between 1 and 12. So that one's working. All right, let's try to put a valid month in, but an invalid day. Day must be between 1 and 31 because that's the month. All right. Let's try 02 and let's make it a leap year. 29, 2024, which is a leap year. I think it's saying it's out of range. Probably. Let's try this. 29, 2004. Oh, it doesn't like that. Well, let's try this. person would be 22. That one's working, so it's handling the valid stuff okay. Let's try putting in an invalid year. Still not showing me my message. Okay. Day must be, oh, here was the year. So here is the year. Must be between 1958 and what did we do? What was that? It was 1958 and 2022 and 2022. All right, so the only one that didn't work was for this. If it is a leap year, parse PD2 is leap year. Does not contain. Oh, that should be a 2. And that should be a 2. Wait a minute, days, month, day, year. That is a 101. All right, I know it looks goofy, but we'll be done in a moment. So Jeff, Scott, and I'm going to put an invalid year in here. So 10/10/2025. The year must be between 1958 and 2022. So it's all working, except I think there's a problem with, let's try it, 02/28, and we'll use last year, 2023. All right, 02/28/2000. How about 1990? 1990. All right. That's all valid. Okay, I'm going to leave it right here. And we will look at this in class. It's getting pretty monstrously big when you look at it. It's over 500 lines. All right. I learned something from this, and I actually think you will when we get to that point as well. So let's stop it here, and we'll go on to the next chapter.